It is in a hospital. There is a community-based mental health teams. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Right. You'll also know that she's had 2 epileptic fits, aren't you?
I'm not aware that she's had epileptic fits. I'm aware that she has potentially on live demonstrated that she's had epilepsy, yes.
Right. Yesterday she had fits before you ran with this. Now,
why is she going on live if she's got the mental health team in her home?
Why are you going on live when you're
No. I've answered your questions. Now answer one of mine. Why is she
going on live?
The mental health team in her home.
There to let them in and out whilst they are seeing other patients. There is not a bed in any unit at the moment.
But why is she going live continually making these allegations?
Please, can I speak?
Why has she brought it to the app?
Okay, let me just let Yorkshire Rose speak for a second. Sorry, go ahead.
Hi there,
Yorkshire.
Tony. So I'm actually a survivor. I got my rapist sent down in 2017 for 19 years. I'm his 4th victim, his 2nd jail sentence. And I just wanted to say after yesterday's live, the photos of Lisa with her uncle, I've got plenty of photos with my stepdad. As a 10-year-old little girl, how do you explain, or even a 4, 5 like I was, how do you put into words what's happening to you? And then when you're getting neglected at home and beaten up and being told like you get taken away and things, of course you cover for them. Last night was absolutely disgusting on behalf of all survivors out there. Absolutely disgusting. I've cuddled up to my stepfather. I've acted like everything's all right until the day that I give birth to my daughter. And I said, no more. I broke that cycle and I got away. They even said in court, like, well, why did you accept gifts? Why did you do this? Of course I did. Of course I did. He was my father. Do you know, what was I meant to do? The day that the social services came round when he'd been, I don't even know where he was. He must have got arrested. I was 10 years old. And they asked me, did he do anything to you? And I could have got him that day on DNA. And I stood there and I said no. Because he used to tell me, I'll get taken away. You'll get taken away. My mum's in the corner of the room crying her eyes out. I didn't want to be that bad guy. I didn't want it all to come back on me. You don't realise as a child there's places where you can go and be safe. No one teaches you these things. It's not spoken about enough. And I just wanted to say on behalf of all survivors last night, like, not one single person did, and that is exactly what happens with victims. I speak up till many, many years later, and I'm actually glad that I did speak up many years later, because on his first case, for the 2 little kids, he only got sent down for 4 years. For me, he got 19 years, and that was many years later, and I didn't have no evidence other than a paper trail. It was mental health. I've got borderline personality disorder. I was running away. I was in hostels doing drugs. I got pregnant at 17. Like, I went through hell and back, and I walked away from everyone and everything, and I've still got mental health. I have agoraphobia. I don't even leave my bedroom, but yeah. I'm on TikTok. Do you know what I mean? For someone to say, well, why are you on the internet? Because sometimes we can't leave our house. Sometimes it's all we've got to the outside world without being stood in front of someone, because we automatically, like for me, for example, I break out into a sweat. I start panicking. Like, I can't go out on my own. I have a very bad form of agoraphobia due to it all. But I just wanted to say that after yesterday, because I felt like no one was saying that, and someone should have said that, because that's, in reality, that's how it goes.
I completely understand your point of view, and anyone who suffered that, and anyone who has had it happen to them and they've not been taken seriously, I completely understand that. Honestly, I genuinely do. What I would say about that is, I did not know.
Can we please get some trigger warnings in the chat, please, Mark?
I didn't know that was going to be discussed on the live, and if I had the ability to mute, then I would have muted, because even though on a couple of occasions I tried to get that topic dropped, it wasn't dropped, and you know, that's unfortunate and very, very triggering for a lot of people. I absolutely understand that. One thing that I will go on to say is, given everything that you've just described, have you ever, you know, forged documents and lied about somebody because of what's happened to you?
No, I've not lied, but I've had, like, obviously I've said over years and years before I went to court, I'd gone to the police once, left it on file, didn't have the balls to push forward with it. And then I'd always talk about it on my Facebook, like rant and just post statuses, because obviously I was triggered. And to other people, it looks like someone that's attention seeking, but it's not, it's extreme trauma. And people need to understand that too. Like, she could be lying, she might not be lying, but who are we to say? Do you know? And to say,
I don't know about those circumstances, and you know the people involved know about that. I don't know about that. I do know about the part where her partner of the two children is not in prison. I do know that those two children didn't suffer at the hands of her ex-partner. I do know that those two children live with her ex-partner's sister. I do know that I'm not Jenny Bradshaw, and I do know that she faked messages from me from TikTok.
Can I ask you something? How do you know that the ex-partner didn't do anything at all to my son, and I found out?
Yeah,
15
no.
years
The
later?
reason I know is because she showed a document online that showed his name, and she'd already said in the live that she'd held that he had been to prison, and it was all over the Leeds newspapers. And it's not in the Leeds newspaper.
But what
and
I'm
he's not
saying is, right, that saying he hasn't done nothing categorically, you can't say that, because kids, and someone has already told you that something can happen when you are 5, and you say you come out with it when you are 25. So you have to be very careful about what you say and how you say it when you are speaking about abuse.
She said he went to prison in something like February 2022.
But that doesn't mean that he hasn't done it. That only means that he has lied about going to prison.
And 7 days after she made those claims, he was seen in his local town.
Yeah, but just because she has lied about him going to prison doesn't mean that she has lied about everything.
Exactly. No, exactly. I agree with you on that point. It doesn't mean that she's lied about everything, but the things that she lied about that related to me were the topics that the ladies were going to come in and discuss, and they were also going to discuss the fact that there was she'd produced a picture that allegedly the husband had somehow was involved in, and that picture by the police, by the experts, had proved that the picture had been forged. And
I understand all that, and I can see both sides, right? And I understand that it could be damaging for him because he's an adult, and it could be damaging for his life or whatever, yeah? Mm-hmm. But it's something, what we have to think at the end of the day is that if there are kids involved, if that there is some kind of abuse involved or whatever, we have to do it with, with kid gloves and do everything to try to don't make things bigger or whatever, because these kids are going to watch all this when they are older.
They absolutely are. I understand, and I understand that she had 5 children. So for me, the question is, why was she enabled to come onto TikTok and be sponsored by other big platforms to talk about this, and for my character to be denigrated? Why was that?
But your character isn't, because you've been to the police and the police have told you that you've got nothing to do with it. And you are cockapoo on this act, so no one knows who you are.
Olivia, tell her to comment so I can do that. Sorry.
In terms of the people that are speaking about me, they are denigrating my character.
But the thing is, right?
They don't
put it this way.
Character because you're a cockapoo.
I have been talking about.
I don't need it spelled out to me in slow words. I understand the point you're making.
I didn't spell it out. I said
Snowflake. We all know that your name's not Snowflake. But
that's what I'm saying to you. I'm saying
it's not even about that, right?
I'm not a creator cockapoo.
Neither am I.
Gift. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? I don't care. I'm not going to open up a lie for a vulnerable person, a very vulnerable person, that if I thought they were talking rubbish about me and they're vulnerable, I'm not going to open up a live or get someone to open up a live and make their nerves even worse.
Well, that's your
I'm not going to do that. That is just the lowest of the lowest, is what you've done.
Well, that's
fine. But the thing is, when
today and tomorrow and the next day, she is the one that's got the bad nerves. She is the one that has got history. You know what I mean?
You've got no idea. You've got no idea.
No, nothing.
You've got no idea what has triggered me. and what my reaction needs to be to this. You don't know my background, you don't know my history, and you don't know why I would be triggered by this. So as far
I
as
don't
I'm
know
But the
concerned,
thing is,
respectfully,
when
I
we
don't
speak,
give a shit about your input.
You went to the police, and the police already says that it's got nothing to do with you.
Listen,
So
at
why
the end,
open
at
up
the
a
end
big
of the
live on
day,
TikTok
this
and
argument,
degrade her like that?
with you is over. Alicia, you've joined the box. What have you got to say, love? Because then I'm going.
I just come up to say,
Sorry,
like,
Alicia.
obviously last night was a really uncomfortable viewing, and I understand, Cockapoo, that you want to clear your name because the things that were said over your voice were outrageous, and I do feel like Miss Baguette did debunk that. I think Lisa has said that she was a victim of her uncle. Trigger warning, everyone, sorry. And I do believe that there's reasons that Lisa is acts the way that she does, because I feel like she's been through something, i.e. something very traumatic like that. And I don't like to disbelieve people. And I just feel like the family members last night, the things that they were saying, it was all sort of family stuff that should not have been brought to the app. And it was, I left the live because I just found it really, really uncomfortable.
it was.
And it wasn't there stating facts to show this is why Lisa's lying, blah, blah, blah. It was more like, well, she done this and she done that, you know, and it wasn't, it was ridiculous from those two.
There was an element of that. What we wanted, I think, and I say we because I did discuss with Kirsten beforehand. We wanted to show the point around the forged picture and what related to that. I didn't know about the other things. We wanted to talk about the fact that the ex-partner has not been to prison, is not in prison, has never been charged with any crimes. We wanted to show that the children are not with her, that they are with the sister. We wanted to disprove the things that she was saying. Other things came into the live. I could have done better at controlling it. I didn't. I'm sorry about that. But at the end of the day, Alicia, I do know that it went west. I understand that completely. But you and I have spoken off the app about the allegations that have been made. There are more things that have been said in the background and done in the background by that lady that thankfully didn't get talked about on there because they're even more triggering, let me tell you.
But the thing is, in TikTok, you have to realize that one, you have to have a very thick
I'm
skin.
dropping down now because I'm done with the conversation with you guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's lovely. Bye-bye.
And everyone, because I just see a couple of comments aimed to me. Yeah, I did speak to Cockapoo of the app, and I said pretty much the same thing to her off of the app, that I just found it really uncomfortable. And I don't like to disbelieve people who say they've been through abuse, because it's a very small number of people that lie about that. They've been through something, and I believe that there's reasons for
behaviors
in the way that she is and her behaviors, you know, because she's been through something very, very traumatic. But I do like the two ladies in the box, and I use the term ladies loosely. There was a comment, I saw a screenshot after where someone said, oh, don't forget Mikey's battle at 10 o'clock, and they left the box at 9:59 to go to this battle. Now, what they was talking about was very, very heavy. I don't understand why going to some geezer's battle on this app would be
more important
than rounding off what you said. But the stuff they were saying was just absolutely outrageous.
And some of the stuff was very triggering for people that has gone through that.
Can I just say something? The way that there is a man that's in prison currently at the moment because of what he did after he'd done something to me. I am.
Hi, everybody. Right, I'm just going to say one thing.
1 second, Bio's talking, darling.
He's talking.
And the way that this live has gone, last night I was doing it from a very professional angle with Lisa to make sure that she was safe until the crisis team got there. The way that Cockapoo has just dropped and said, after I've spoken now, I am off, or whatever she said, that is just as bad to somebody like myself
Are you okay, darling?
Are
you okay?
Yeah, of course I'm okay. That's how you shut survivors down, and that is not okay. That is not okay. Whatever is being said about Cockapoo, that's fine. Take it off the app now. But to come into lives the day after you've destroyed other people and just to sit there and deliberately knock down other people, she needs to be held accountable, and I'm not very happy
To everybody
about
that's
this.
in the comments, can I just say that I am not Lisa Marie's auntie, but I do know Lisa Marie from being 11 years old, and everything that she tells you, believe me, is lies.
Maggie, don't do this. Don't do
Don't.
this. Come on
I'm
now.
not going to
Don't
say
do
what's
this.
been
She's
said
been
or
ripped
anything like
apart
that.
last night. Don't do this again.
Don't.
Like we've just said, she's obviously been through something, whatever that may be. She's been ripped apart already. Just stop now.
Well,
Can I just
you obviously want to believe what you want to believe, but nobody knows Lisa. You only see her on a screen. I see her in real life.
Can I
But
jump
that
in?
doesn't mean that something hasn't happened to her in the past and she doesn't know how to handle it. And maybe she's lying and she's doing certain things because she needs the attention somehow because she's got something inside her that she hasn't dealt with.
Shall I
And
tell
that's
you
what
what
we are
she's got
trying to
inside her?
say.
Munchausen disease by proxy.
Are you a doctor now?
Well, then,
No,
Maggie,
I'm not a
if
doctor,
even if she
but
has, Maggie, that's still an
I've
illness.
got a brain in my head.
That's
But
still
that's
an
still an
illness that we're
illness.
not going to rip someone apart from. If that is what she's got, we're not going to rip someone apart for having that. The way that
I'm
woman
gonna
spoke
listen. I'm gonna
about-
drop Maggie out. I don't feel comfortable to continue all of this on.
No.
At the minute, I'm gonna try to you know, and just I don't want anyone to be triggered. People, I'm just I really this live went somewhere else, and I don't want anyone to be triggered. And I witnessed something. Yeah, I'm going to be on for another 5 minutes. I'll let you speak in a second, but I did see like the other day when Panda spoke about something that happened with her. Not one person listened to Panda, and I think even some of the people that went against Panda, some of the people that saying,
I listened to her.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But there was a lot of people that literally didn't give it a time of day for speaking. So, like I said, people are welcome up here. I'm gonna fill these boxes one more time, and then that's it. I'm gonna end the live feed. So yeah, I'm gonna end the live feed here. But yeah, sorry, Kiki, you can go ahead and speak. Sorry.
Just because I think, first of all, I don't think anything like this should be on this app anyway, but if it is, then it's here. So I think education is the key point on this. I was like most people, I could not stay in that live last night because it was too much. We've got to start educating ourselves, people. Most child victims, I'm picking my words right for TikTok, most child victims know the people that are their perpetrators, which means you are around them. You are going to play nice. You are going to do anything to appease. There's not just 3 trauma responses. Everybody knows fight, flight, freeze. What people forget is there's a 4th one, which is fawn, which is about playing nice, being good, trying to appease, trying to make them stop. Now, I don't care if I love or hate you as a person or have no feeling at all. I will always stand on the side of a victim. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'd rather take that on my conscience.
Exactly.
You need to have so much more education around this. Most kids, when they're acting up at young ages, regardless of what they're doing, is for a reason. And not all children are going to speak out, especially when it's childhood related. Not because they're scared, necessarily, not because of all those other reasons we think of. Half the time you do not have the language, you do not have the words. Some of the times you can't handle the shame and embarrassment yourself, let alone be able to vocalize it. Now the numbers are getting better right now, but up until about 10 years ago, the average age of someone going through childhood trauma was 40 years old when they spoke out for the first time. Thankfully, that's getting a little bit better now and people are speaking out sooner. As for this whole legal aspect, this is one of those crimes where as a child or as an adult, you haven't got evidence. So stop asking for receipts. You do not stand there and tell somebody, hold up while I set up a live or film this or whatever else. And most cases do not even go to the police, let alone everything else. And if they do get to the police, only between 1 and 3% end up going to court. And out of that 1 and 3%, and that can take 2 years, by the way, 3 years to get to court. So you're dealing with all that shit for 3 years while you're even waiting for a court date. And then when it does get to court, you are re-victimized, traumatized, told that you wanted it, you agreed to it, you this, you that, and all the other. And on top of that, by the time you get a conviction, it's less than 1% that get convicted. So don't talk to me about people not getting convicted. Don't talk to me about people not having criminal records. And certainly don't come to me telling me that little kids are either asking for stuff, acting up, doing this, that, and the other, or behaving in certain ways. Because not every kid will go quiet. Not every kid gets to bed. Not every kid goes inwards. A lot of kids go outwards. And we need to stop all these things that get said. And if you hear people say something like that about a victim, about the fact that they were acting out, or they were promiscuous, or they were this, that, and the other, or you didn't know what they were like as a kid, you need to be asking them, well, why was that child acting that way?
And it's a lot of people that, because they want to save, well, the brain wants to save them from whatever is happening, they forget a lot of stuff. It goes back to them when they are 25, 30.
And also the thing is, even 25, 30, people will block things out, and then they have little memories and little triggers. So something they told you 10 years ago, actually, the fundamentals will stay the same, but they may remember more of their details and be able to add. That's not them changing their story. That is literally a trauma response.
Yeah, is the actual memories making merging themselves into the proper memory, and it can take years.
You go to half the women that are on the street right now, who people look at and call crack addicts, this, that, and the other. Nearly every single one of them has gone through some sort of childhood abuse. And the shameful factor is that once you've gone through that as a child, the chances are, not always, because we don't want to be totally disheartened on this, but the chances are it's going to happen again, or you attract men that are going to abuse you in that way or do stuff. Most victims do not have one incident. So when they say, oh, how did you let it happen again? Oh, but what? Stop asking people. It was not them letting things happen. It's people putting shit on them.
You know something? I love you because I've been saying this for years, right? And I work in this field. I had a very narcissistic mother, and because it's the only thing I knew, every single partner I found, it was exactly the same, right? And then people was asking me, but why do you let it happen? And it's like, because I didn't know nothing else.
And sometimes you don't know how to change it. You're not even aware of it half the time. Sometimes you don't even realize your own patterns of behavior because they're so embedded in you.
Yeah.
Right, listen, people, on that note,
Can I just
go
say
ahead,
something,
Alicia.
I
Yeah,
need to go as well.
Yeah.
I think that Cockapoo had brought them onto the platform because there was something that happened at some point where it was shown that Lisa had made screenshots of some sort and she had photoshopped them. And like I said, Miss Baguette has already debunked the whole Cockapoo is Jenny Maynard thing. In my opinion, I think she debunked it. But I just feel like these women, it's a personal vendetta against Lisa because of what's been said about the uncle, the brother, whatever. But just stand with victims. Like I said, it's a very small percentage of people that lie about stuff like this, and people should not be disbelieved because that's very damaging to people.
Can I just make one final point before I drop? The reason why I decided to jump in the box in the first place was because what we just saw there, and I understand how much I may not be a fan of Cockapoo, I understand where she's coming from to a certain extent. Trust me, because of the work I do, especially around victims, I've had rewards out to find out who I am, and I don't hide myself. But what just happened in that box where that young lady was speaking, she was in the box 1 minute, she dropped the next, she was telling her story, she was telling how her experience. And instead of just acknowledging that and leaving it as that and saying, I hear you, I understand that must have been hard, we said, oh, I hear you, I understand that must have been hard. However, have you ever done this? Have you ever changed up someone's screenshots? Stop it. Stop trying to discredit everything. Anyway, I'm done. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Listen, everyone.
Thank you,
There was a
Tony.
number there. No worries. I will be back on as soon as I get back to London. I'm going to get on the motorway now, and we'll continue with a chat later on. So, if anyone is triggered by anything in here, I do apologise. There is a number there. If anyone needs to reach out to anyone, it's 116 123, and also you can text shout. The number was pinned there in the chat. If one of the if one of the mods can, there we go. You can text text shout to 85258. So please, and reach out to someone. Don't feel like you're alone, anyone like that. And listen, big shout out to Panda here as well, because I know what happened with Panda here last week. When Panda spoke out about something, everyone jumped down her neck about it, and these are some of these are the same people who saying you need to believe everyone. But I'll continue part 2 of this in a couple of hours when I get back home. Thank you everyone for joining the boxes, and I will speak to you.
process how they can book, for example, after consultation, after agreement, after everything.
Tummy tucks, everything, guys. Dental input,
Yes.
they do everything. They do everything.
And the deposit will be deducted from your total pay, or how we are going to do process. You just need to book your flight ticket, and before booking flight ticket, you need to tell us these days we are looking to come. I check the availability, you book your flight ticket, and you need to send photo of your flight ticket. And when you send photo, we arrange transport, we arrange your appointment, confirm appointment, everything, and then you can go back according to same flight. We pick you from airport and we drop you at airport. That's why we need your flight ticket picture.
1 second, I'm just... Bear with. You can bring a +1 as well.
Yes, exactly. Like you are here
Yeah.
with your friend, so we arrange. We don't charge any extra for that.
No, you can bring a +1. They'll pick up your companion. The companion can stay. Literally, they'll look after everybody that you bring, but just try and just bring one person. Do you accept Bitcoin and ClearPay? Do you do finance?
I wish we could.
Do you do finance options or?
Actually, it's international transaction, because if patient is coming from other country, they have to pay at once only when they come at hospital. On surgery day, they pay. We don't do payment plan, because if you are here, the bank system is here, patient is here, everything is here, then we can do.
Right.
But if patient is coming from other country, then not only in our hospital, in all hospitals they are doing same. So when you come here on your surgery day, you need to pay all amount.
Brilliant. I want to get everyone to the brain transplant. You lot are mad. Rainbow, where are you? Rainbow. Big up, Lauren, thank you. Rainbow! Where is he? I need to pin his comments.
Let's do that as well. If you want. I will arrange.
It's with the Erdem clinic.
Yes, by the way, this is important. You need to tell him I'm not agent.
Yeah, no.
Right
This is
now?
it. So what you need to do, so everyone, if they contact my mod, Rainbow, he will give you Ghoul's details, because you need to speak to Ghoul directly rather than book with the hospital directly.
Because we are not agents. Sorry to interrupt you. I am working as a medical coordinator in Erdem Hospital, same hospital. So we are not like getting patient from other country and sending to other doctors, finding doctors, sending other clinics. No, we are here, and right now we are sitting in hospital.
Where's Rainbow?